Good morning. Beautiful Sunday morning. Feeling a little tired. Um, and kind of wanted to talk about that. Didn't get great sleep 2 nights ago. Just couldn't get to sleep forever. And it's amazing. It was 83% or something. It's amazing how much of a difference just an hour, 2 hours of sleep less makes a difference to my mental capacity. And I think it was that combined with yesterday I went to, I'll tell this quick story. I went to the same coffee shop that I went to a week ago, multiple days in a row. And the guy started to recognize me. And I hadn't been in maybe a week. And I went back yesterday. And I walked in and I was like, "Hi, good morning." And the guy said, "Hey, good morning." And then he goes, "The usual?" And I was like, "Oh, my people." He remembered me from must have been a week ago, maybe even more. I don't even know. But anyway, yeah, I think with all of this MVP progress I've been making, a couple times I've been working in the afternoons despite feeling tired. And this video is just going to be a mess of thoughts, jumbled mess of thoughts. Yesterday, I worked in the afternoon. So I started working on this UI, and I actually got something together yesterday. And in the afternoon, I was like, what do I do? Because I don't feel like doing any of the admin kind of stuff to run and organize my life. And jumping back into this MVP, building the UI seems like a lot. But I just started kind of tinkering around, and I started working on working with a drag and drop HTML builder and redesigning my landing page, web page. And I noticed after I started to get into it, I actually fell into flow. And I was like, that's so weird that I didn't feel like working. I felt tired, yet I was still able to get into flow. And that's just been I don't know, it's just been kind of on my mind. Isn't it? It's interesting how that can happen. But yeah, I am also coming up on checking out of this hostel on Monday. I just kept pushing it back or extending. But I think along with, I don't know, I was going to say along with all this MVP progress, maybe along with, it was just one poor night of sleep. I don't know. I think I need a little bit of a change of scenery, and I was thinking about this. See, it's like I said, it's just gonna be a jumbled mess of thoughts. It's okay. I was thinking about this the other day. That it was I think I was trying to compare myself, or is that the right phrase? Yeah, comparing myself to someone who has an apartment, at least. I think that's right. Has an apartment or like a home base. And I was thinking about how, like, I feel very fortunate and have felt very fortunate that when I get into, what do I want to say here? It's not really a slump. It's like when I feel things are getting boring. Is that the right? Maybe you kind of get what I mean, but it's like I just need like something to change, you know? Tired, getting into the routine, you know. Yesterday as well, when I went to before I went to the coffee shop, I was, going back and forth in my head, like, oh, do I want to go or do I just want to sit down and work here? And it was like the first time I had the thought that it was like, but like working here is kind of boring, you know. I've done it for the past whatever 6 days or 7 days, and like it's nice to have a little change of scenery. So anyway, back to my train of thought. It's like I feel very fortunate that I can just kind of pick up and move and like live somewhere else, just basically at any moment. And it was the same way with van life. It's like at any moment, well, in the micro, it's like when I was living in Denver, I could go to I had my like rotation of overnight camp spots, so like I could just live in a different part of Denver, and then go to a different coffee shop in the morning, and then like go to a different park in the afternoon. And on the macro, it's like I could just drive to any city or like live in any city at any point. And I'm not sure how I know it makes a difference. I just don't know how much of a difference it makes. And so this is one of these things. It's like it's nice to just be able to pick up I guess you could take a vacation or like go on a weekend trip, for someone living in an apartment and not on this kind of nomadic lifestyle, and that I'm sure would still help. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably enough. I'm gonna call it there. We talked about, I don't even know. What did we talk about? I'm feeling tired. Went to a coffee shop yesterday. Today is a life update blog post day. Just gonna focus on that. I went to the gym the past 2 days. Oh, I'll tell you this too, is kind of interesting. 2 days ago, it was Friday. I woke up, it was like a 53% recovery in the yellow. One of these days where like, I wouldn't really go to the gym on that. But I've had so many yellow recoveries at this hostel. It's like, oh my God. If I don't go to the gym, I'll just never end up going to the gym because I never get a green recovery. And I'll walk back over here. And so I was like, all right, let's just like overreach and go to the gym. And I went to the gym, and then I came back and I did like a quick sauna. That probably wouldn't have made that big of a difference. And I went to sleep. Was this the Friday night? Was this the night I didn't get good sleep? Yeah, I didn't. I got like 83% sleep, and I woke up with a like 82% recovery. I was like, what the hell? My HRV heart rate variability was like way high, and like resting heart rate was like fairly normal. Respiratory rate was like fairly normal. And I was like, what the heck? And so I went to the gym yesterday. I was like, well, apparently my body has recovered, so I'm gonna go to the gym again. But that was another, I could kind of override that with my mind. I was like, I don't feel 100% right now. And even when I was like lifting, it's like, I was failing earlier than like the previous um, number of reps that I had done before. So, yeah, I guess the valuable piece of this is like when you get to this point, how do you, what do you do basically? And so I think that's where I was talking about like, well, I'm gonna probably just pick up and move, and so that's like a change of scenery in and of itself. Gonna focus on recovery today, and then I felt fortunate that yesterday, because I felt like there was this stopping point where like I got all my code deployed and running, and then like I needed to start this UI, and that felt like a big hurdle. But yesterday I just like I got something going, and so I was able to like open the loop in my mind of like, oh yeah, well now I have a UI, and it's kind of like half baked. Like there's still some stuff I need to do, and so I now feel motivated to work on that again, or not again, but like to work on that. And so I might do a little bit of that before I write my blog post. But anyway, okay, now I'll call it there. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.